What is up, everybody, and welcome back to our Red Bull Road to Glory series. Today, we're here for the Australian Grand Prix and qualifying. I absolutely nailed the simulations, tire wear, and fuel wear and qualifying pace in practice, so I'm really excited to get into this qualifying session. Lance Stroll, Oscar Piastri, and Charles Leclerc are already out on track, and Carlos Sainz in the second Ferrari, which is surprising that they came out right behind each other. I guess Sainz is trying to get a tow from Leclerc. So everybody is coming out of the pits right now. I've already got my setup where I need it, so let's get out and start. This weekend I am going to be running a special helmet for the Australian Grand Prix, which is my character's home race, Spence Taylor from Australia. And yeah, I quite like this design. I think it's similar to David Coulthard's helmet. I kind of like it. But yeah, this is a special helmet I'm running for his home race. So here we are, about to round the final corner to start our first lap of the Australian Grand Prix, the first day race in our season here. Of course, starting at a night race at Bahrain. Just gonna try to set my banker lap here. Nice and tidy through turn one. Easy to drop the car through there. Just gonna have a few cars get out of my way. The brakes on this AlphaTauri are so strong. It's really surprising, actually, how strong they are. Reprofiled turn, of course, in 2022, but in F1 2021, that was my favorite overtaking spot, that corner back there. Of course, this whole section reprofiled as well for the 2022 season. Down into this high-speed chicane here. Not a lot of downforce through there for this car. Very quick through there, and easy to get wrong if you run just a little bit wide. Another decent overtaking spot down here if you have the inside line. A little bit of wobble there. So just gonna try to tuck into the slipstream of this car ahead if they're not boxing. And they're not. I think that's an Alpine or a Williams, one of the two. We're gonna get a slight slipstream down the straight here, all the way to the line at the end of the straight, and that's gonna put us P4 ahead of George Russell. So that is surprising. I think I need to up the difficulty quite a bit, if I'm being completely honest. But that is a fantastic lap. So here we are at the end of Q1. I wasn't able to improve on that lap, but I did get dropped down to 11th, 1.4 seconds off of the George Russell in first at the end of Q1. So out in Q1, Ricardo in 16th, where we qualified last time out. Joe 17th, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, and Logan Sargent in the Williams. So let's jump into Q2 and let's really try to get a good qualifying position. We can really capitalize on this if we get it right. Just make my way through this section here. It's like going to the high-speed chicane, try to keep it nice and tidy. Don't want to have any incidents through here. So just go a little bit wide, and that is gonna... Luckily, I don't have any damage. I'm just gonna try to get out of the way of the Alfa Romeo there. That was very close to being out of the session. So I just am trying to make my way through here. I almost dropped it there. That would have been quite embarrassing. Anyway, starting my final run in Q3. See what we can do to improve on this lap. Down here, this section, of course, Leclerc DNF'd in this year's race. Not the best lap ever through here, this section. And that...
Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
Well, that is me out of the qualifying session, so that's gonna drop us down to P15. And that's where we're going to start for tomorrow's race. Well, it does look like we're going to have some rain here for this race. Also, for whatever reason, Checo Perez did not set a lap for Red Bull. He did not set a lap in Q2, so that moves us to P14 instead of P15. So I'm not sure what the issue there Red Bull was, but he did not set a lap. So let's jump right into this race. Hopefully we can make up some places if we judge the rain right.
You can hear the Australian fans roaring as they line the track here in Albert Park. Welcome to Melbourne, and the roar from the crowd can only mean one thing. It's race day. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. Close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable. Recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Bottas, Ocon, Stroll, Albon, Taylor, Perez, Ricciardo, Joe, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And what would any Grand Prix weekend be without the one and only Natalie Pinkham? Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen?
What a quality performance. The big question, though, is how does that translate on race day? Can they hold on to that lead? And of course, it's looking very close here today. A lot is going to be riding on those first few corners. And then the question becomes, who can manage their tyres so they're in a good position to push hard towards the end?
Well, that's a great question from Natalie Pinkham there. Not exactly sure how this race is going to go, but I am eager to find out. Rain at near the end of the race, so maybe we might have a switch to inters. I don't know. Depending, maybe if we have a safety car or two, it could extend this race a bit, and that could definitely put some rain on the track. So it's going to be interesting to see how this race plays out, and maybe, just maybe, if we get a good start, we could score a point here today in Australia in our second ever race in Formula 1, and that would put a great impression on Red Bull.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out.
Great qualifying for Valtteri Bottas as well. Didn't notice that.
As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that, within the points.
Cars line up for the grid. Kevin Magnussen, of course, scoring his first podium here in 2014. His first season of Formula 1, but here we go. 5 lights on. Lights out and away we go, and not the best start for myself here, but just think I have a little bit more engine power. Gonna have to lift there so I don't go back into the back of Lance Stroll and the Aston Martin. Just gonna cut turn 1 just a little bit. Get forced out by Stroll. And then I've got, who is this? No, sorry, that's Kevin Magnussen. Down into turn 3, gonna do a big send there on the Haas and on the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. Not gonna make that move sticking once again. Magnussen just fighting me. So you go through this high-speed corner here where I had that unfortunate crash in Q2. Luckily we didn't have any incidents here on lap 1. I'm usually alright at keeping out of trouble on lap 1.
Let's try and move forwards.
And that is some great advice there from Mark. Ricardo actually dropping quite a few places at the start. Starting 16th, of course, and he's down and 18th, I believe. I think our pace is just dropping off a little bit. Of course, Perez making a good start as well. Max Verstappen leads at the end of lap 1, and this, I really hope we're able to catch back up because the pace deficit here seems to be massive at the start of this race. Confidence is just a little low. It doesn't look like gaining on them at all. The Constantine effect is helping me just a bit. But yeah, shout out to Valtteri Bottas. Great qualifying from him, starting in 10th for Alfa Romeo. Don't mind my dog shaking in the background. And they're gonna go side by side. Sergio Perez and who I think it's Alex Albon in the Williams, side by side through this high-speed chicane here. Just no straight line speed through here, as you can see. Not enough downforce through that corner still. It's going to compromise our exit for Kevin Magnussen. I'm going to try to take the inside line as he's going to go around the outside. Can we hold this defense? It's going to give him a little space, but then slam the door on him as we head towards the end of the final sector into the penultimate corner. This is a great battle to have it up ahead here. I think I don't know what's going on with my pace, but it's dropped off quite a bit. So we go down into the next possible overtaking zone, and Magnussen's going to go for a move. I'm just going to slam the door on him. And that, ooh, very, very, very out of shape through there. Just trying to get decent exits out of these corners to make up for the lack of straight line speed. I think I'm going to knock some downforce points off the front wing when I box on lap 9.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.0 seconds.
I'm wondering if I risk it, because if there is a guarantee of rain at the end of the race and there is going to be switched to inters, then I'm going to go on to some softs. I'll want to do that to be quicker, but also since I have to use two different two different tire compounds in this race, if it stays dry, I don't want to risk it, because then I'll have to make a whole nother pit stop. So we'll see how this race plays out, but it's not going to be something that is going to be very easy to decide while driving at 180 miles an hour through some of these corners. Daniel Ricciardo back there fighting with Logan Sargent, battling for P17. We're currently running P15. One less than where we started. And already Max Verstappen is pulling a huge gap to Lando Norris, I believe that is, in second place. Mercedes having a really good weekend here so far as well. And, ooh, very close. Kind of a train starting to form here. Just trying not to use that much battery. Just gonna work on saving some fuel while I'm in the middle of a train here. And these downforce points that I'm knocking off the car, really hoping will give me a little bit of an improvement of the straight line speed of this AlphaTauri. The power on it is great, but it's just the chassis and the aerodynamics that are very behind, shall we say, compared to the other cars. So Magnussen almost went for a move on the inside there. I had to move out of the way just so I didn't clip his front wing, and look at the difference in the straight line speed. It's awful. Just horrible. how I would so dearly love to be in that Red Bull right now is I just get a little snap oversteer out of the exit of that chicane, and Kevin Magnussen is on my gearbox. Front wing to diffuser. I mean, that was very close. I'm surprised he didn't pull out and go for a move. Maybe he's just biding his time to do it into turn 1. Just something I wish I could do right now on these cars ahead, make up some places. And I'm not in DRS range, so Kevin Magnussen is going to have DRS.
Second lap faster, 1 second.
This car just doesn't have enough downforce through these corners. It can be late on the brakes, but it's so slow. I mean, I thought I'd at least have a fighting chance with, you know, the Williams and the Haases, but I can guarantee if Kevin Magnussen got past me and there wasn't this train, he'd be pulling away. As even Alex Albon is managing to do behind a train of cars like this. It's quite embarrassing, actually. Whoa, that was very close through there. I almost dropped it on the exit, and that's going to allow Kevin Magnussen to go right on past me. Too far back to make a move through there. But the important thing is he's not in DRS range of the cars ahead. So that's going to give me maybe an advantage. The Haas is no joke in a straight line, though. So I'm going to see if I can just tuck into this upstream here and maybe make a move into turn 1. We're gaining.
You're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
Already almost time to box here. Gaining on K-Mag. I'm going to send a fat dive down the inside. There's a little bit of contact, and that was close. I'm glad I didn't spin there. I guess you didn't see me there. That was a pretty audacious move for myself. I just cut the corner there. Cut the grass. And it looks like I'm settled in for a long race ahead. So I once again get DRS on Kevin Magnussen. Don't think I'll be able to challenge for a move at all, though, in this second DRS zone. Or will I? So I get a good exit out of that corner there. It's still just going to be stuck behind him for another lap, it looks like. So what I think I'm going to do here at the end of lap 8 is box and then hopefully come out at least a lot closer.
Yet, but it is coming, so be careful.
A lot closer to the train up in front of Kevin Magnussen. I'm just gonna check the weather here. Weather update.
Repeat that, I've got some interference here.
Weather report.
5 minutes
There we go.
until rainfall expected. 5 minutes until rain. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tire at the moment.
So the team there just telling me 5 minutes till the rain. So I'm wondering, is it even worth it to box if these tires are shot? Of course, tire wear very high around the circuit as I was not looking. I was looking at my steering wheel there. Apologies for that. I'm distracted.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
I'm gonna try to go for the undercut here on this train of cars ahead of me. Just gonna keep it nice and tidy into the pit lane.
This lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
So I inform the team that I'm boxing. Braking into the pit lane. Alright. Of course, having the downforce reduced a bit.
Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
And that was a very good stop from the team.
Complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Just want to get these tires heated up. So hopefully when they come out on these new tires that they're going to have, mine will be heated up enough. And I'm going to have DRS as well because I was behind K-Mag. So that could give me a 10th or 2 down there. Although with this straight line speed, I doubt it gave me anything. This is gonna be, I need to do like a qualifying level lap here. So head up through the reprofiled section. I didn't really like this circuit until the 2022 layout. This layout's much better and more raceable. And of course in 2023 the new DRS zone through there. So just, and okay, that lost me a lot of time. That might have just cost me being able to getting past these cars here. That was a silly mistake from me. So Daniel's pitting, it looks like.
Daniel's in the pits.
Just gonna power and give it everything down the main straight. See what I can do against this train of cars.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.0 seconds.
I'm gonna be ahead of Kevin Magnussen, but of course coming out of the pits, their line is compromised through turn 1. Just kind of going to the back of Alex Albon there. That could have been my one and only shot to get past the Williams. And of course they're pulling away again. So frustrating, you guys. I can't even explain. I mean, how Yuki Tsunoda has scored so many points this season in this thing is beyond me, but
Our gap behind is 2.1 seconds.
it's one of the worst cars I've ever driven. It's so frustrating when you know that you're an okay driver and your machinery prevents you from doing anything about it. Of course, your public image is tarnished as well. I know the really good drivers can do wonders in a car that has no right to be doing wonders, but of course I'm going to get past a few more cars here who are boxing, but that into turn 1, or after turn 1 into turn 3, that was my only chance to get past Alex Albon, and I messed it up. So that's on me. If it does start raining, maybe I'll get another chance if I judge the intermediate crossover point right. Weather report.
We don't think it's going to stay dry for much longer. The rain could come at any moment, so watch out. Okay, dry seems like the best tyre for now.
From this cockpit camera, it is kind of hard to tell if it is raining or not. Usually from the halo cam you can see, or from the TV pod camera, excuse me. But the clouds have darkened very quick here in Australia. I'm pushing like a madman on these tires, not worried about conservation at all, because I know it is going to rain. And I just gained a bit on Alex Albon on this lap. Just focused. I wish I had an eye tracker. It'd be cool to see what my eyes are doing while racing, to be able to, because when I'm focusing I don't know where my eyes are really looking, if you know what I mean. This though is going to compromise Alex Albon, and that was a stroke of luck there. Pierre Gasly up ahead, that was a huge stroke of luck, and this might, yes, and we are past Alex Albon. A few cars going on the hard tires, so clearly some of these teams don't think that it's going to rain. But us, we just cleared Alex Albon, and that, I was not expecting that. Just me gaining from that lap before is the reason I ended up getting past him. I almost went into the wall there, I went so wide, but Alex Albon, he's not going to give this one up without a fight. I cover off the inside line, and no, he wouldn't make a move into that turn, as I get all out of shape through that corner, get a warning for corner cutting. And I'm going to have DRS from Pierre Gasly ahead, but still, with that superior straight line speed. Oh, I didn't think I was going to make the corner there, if I'm being completely honest. I'm not sure if it's raining yet. I don't even know how hard it's going to rain. These are all just assumptions.
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
So of course it's not raining yet. So Alex Albon's going to go for a move into turn 1. But I'm just going to slam the door on him there. And who's this in front of me? Oscar Piastri. in front of me, just coming out of the pit lane. Gonna send it up the inside, and he sees me there. A little bit of wheel banging, but he sees me, unlike Kevin Magnussen
Good work. Great pass.
earlier in the race, the opening stages. So that puts us up to P12.
And gap to the car in front is 2.6 seconds.
2.6 seconds of gap ahead to Pierre Gasly, so clearly the Alpine having a lot more speed, but so does this McLaren car, as of course Piastri is going to clear me back. There's never any doubt about that. I wanted to capitalize and put a little more space. My race is definitely with Alex Albon today.
The car ahead of you's just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead now on the hard compound.
There it is, a few rain droplets on my visor here, but I'm not exactly sure. Usually I'm good at judging a combination of me and the team letting me know, but I'm usually okay at judging when to switch onto the intermediate tires. Set intermediates.
Okay, we'll fit inters on your next stop.
Weather report.
Didn't receive that. Repeat the message. Repeat the message.
Weather report.
Please repeat. You're breaking up.
Okay. Whatever. But I'm gonna settle in for the race ahead and try to keep it steady. Yellow flag ahead. Who is that up ahead? Having issues. Is that a Red Bull? Don't want to take my eyes off the track. It's not a Red Bull, but something. Fernando Alonso and the Aston Martin out of the session then. As it's really coming down now, as here comes Alex Albon, and he's going to get past me. And that's highly unfortunate there. But I'm going to get a really good exit out of that corner, but of course he's still going to have DRS,
It's
but
still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
I'm going to send it up the inside on Alex Albon to just squeeze him out. And that was a good move by myself, if I do say so. Don't think it's wet enough yet for intermediates. But I'm trying to just settle in for this race ahead and hopefully not make any mistakes in the changing conditions. As now I'm thinking it is about time to box to switch over to intermediate tires. It's DRS disabled now, so looks like I might have made the right call here.
Okay, let's go now. Come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
I'm just wondering if any of the other cars will pit or if it's too late in the race. If anybody will try to hang it out. Already these feel so much quicker than what I was just on. I was struggling to keep the slicks in the tire windows, the tire temperature window as well.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled.
Alright, so that will make overtaking a struggle. But maybe, just maybe, using these tires I can catch back up to the field if nobody else boxes. Maybe salvage a few places. Gap to Hulkenberg is 8 seconds right now. And everybody is coming in. So I might have made the right call here to be able to jump some cars with the way it's coming down right now. A dry line hasn't even formed yet. Just trying to keep myself. It's Daniel's coming into box as well.
Daniel's in the pits.
Just gonna power down the main straight once again, see what I can do. How many cars am I gonna be able to pass here? Up to 11th now, with Oscar Piastri and that McLaren ahead. Of course, no DRS, so passing will be a struggle, but I'm just gonna try to go for the outside line here. Piastri's gonna force me wide. It was great defending there from the rookie driver, as well as ourselves. Really been impressive this season, of course, in real life. Of course, picking up that sprint win in Qatar and finishing on the podium.
Right, we've got
in Japan and Qatar in the actual race. Impressive stuff. Best rookie since Lewis Hamilton, in my opinion, but and there's one more driver that is coming into the box now. I'm just wondering, I'm not going to be able to pass them, no, so is there anybody else coming into the pits now that I could jump? And then, like I said at the start of this race, if we time the stops right with this rain, we could score a point or two, and it looks like we might have just done it here in Australia as we start lap 18 of the Grand Prix. And now we are going to move up a position. No, we're not. Am I crazy? Okay, turns out we're not.
Okay, the gap behind is 6.5 seconds.
I guess I'm crazy. Is there... what's happening in the pit lane? Don't really understand. It says there's a car in the pit lane. Right here. It looks like it's an Alpine. It's the Alpine of Pierre Gasly. Here. He was bugged. I see. It's bugged. This glitch happens sometimes. So, what we were doing there was lapping him. That's why I was confused. Alright. I do seem to be keeping pace with Piastri. It seems this car is pretty decent in the rain. Still not really there in terms of straight line speed. And I do have the R&D management set to automatic for this career mode. Not that I mind doing it, but I like to do it more realistic. It seems more realistic for driver careers. But with my team, I always develop the car on my own. Just
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
I just let the team handle it. Will it be another P11 here in a row? Starting to feel like Yuki Tsunoda. Scoring 11th places in these races in an AlphaTauri.
Okay, you're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Let's keep pushing.
Not really something I'm concerning myself with Valtteri. However, that McLaren looks a lot quicker than the Alpine. So if they can start fighting, it might give me a chance to be able to swoop through on one of them and maybe just snag a point. Pierre Gasly out of the pit lane now and just in front of the leaders, about to be lapped for a second time. And I'm now losing a lot of time to the McLaren ahead of me. And it's just starting to look like the reality of it is I'm going to be scoring another P11, which is pretty good in this AlphaTauri car here. Gonna use all my battery here down the straight. Use it all throughout the lap. See if I can even
Okay, you just started the final lap of the race.
try to get any closer to Oscar Piastri. For the next races, I'm gonna set Mark's, my race engineer, to give me less updates so that he's not talking over me all the time. Seems we have a lot quicker qualifying car than we do a race car. Just gonna give it everything down the straight here.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.8 seconds.
Just wondering if Piastri will find a move on Esteban Ocon up here. Max Verstappen wins the Australian Grand Prix, of course, by not that much, actually, surprisingly. One of the Mercedes in P2, and then Lando Norris comes home to take third place. And down into the final corner for one last time in this Grand Prix. Gonna come across the line in P11 for the second time in a row this season, and that is a great result for the team.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
A great race then, and a fantastic victory here at Albert Park. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, I think what impresses me most is just how the drivers hold their focus and nerve with these massive rain delays and this changeable forecast. You've got to be out there on track, feeling and looking for the grip, and know when it's right to switch compounds.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team.
Lewis Hamilton coming home to take P2 in the Mercedes. So, the exact podium from Austin, actually, before Lewis Hamilton, of course, got disqualified. And celebrations for Red Bull and Mercedes and McLaren, as Adrian Newey, legendary car designer, stands up there next to their winning driver Max Verstappen. Champagne sprays.
Let's have a quick look at how the driver standings have changed. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Often, my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today, as they make their way up the standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, there we have it then. Max Verstappen winning again from pole position, but only by a margin of 0.3 of a second. Sergio Perez getting driver of the day. I don't know what that glitch with Natalie Pinkham saying that Max Verstappen's driver of the day for every single race. They need to fix that. But Sergio Perez from 15th on the grid, making a great recovery there to finish only 13 seconds off the lead. Carlos Sainz in 7th. Stroll recovering from 12th to 8th. Great showing from him. Daniel Ricciardo managed to up a place and finish 15th. And yeah, this was a good race for us. I'm definitely feeling a lot more confident. Verstappen pulling further away in the standings, and Hamilton in second now, with Perez behind. And we find ourselves in 12th, of course, with 2 11th places, but the top of the non-point scorers, so that's good news for us. In terms of constructor standings, as Crofty said, Red Bull pulling further away from Ferrari, who are in second, with Mercedes behind them, McLaren, Aston Martin, Alpine, and then ourselves, once again, are the top, at the top of the non-point scores. So this was a very, very exciting race weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like and subscribe, and turn on that bell if you want to see more of these videos, because there's a lot more to come. Going to be frequently posting, and I will see you guys at the next round for round 3 in Miami.